If you're someone who thinks of inactivity and rest as being idle or lazy, then you're going to be riddled with guilt the moment you stop being active. And this is a problem because it will add to your stress and eventually lead to burnout. For many of us, taking time to stop working can cause us to feel like we're doing something wrong. And because of this, we just keep going and going and going until the point of burnout, which isn't good for anyone. But learning how to stop feeling guilty about rest will reduce the risks to your well-being, help you feel better about yourself, and even though it might sound counterintuitive, help to increase your productivity. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 strategies for avoiding feeling guilty during those times when you're resting. Hi, I'm Nick and I'm a husband, dad, pops, coach and counsellor. And on this channel, I like to share ideas, tips and practical tools designed to help you improve your well-being and succeed in life. Now, if you're someone who's serious about getting better at managing stress, then I want to invite you to get access to a free lesson from my Stress to Success course. It's designed to help busy people just like you to achieve more with less stress. I'll put a link to it in the description. Now, please stop treating busyness like a badge of honor, because if you don't get a grip on the way you're managing your daily schedule, you run the risk of running yourself into an early grave. Because rest is such a complex thing, it will mean different things to different people. For some, lying on a beach reading a book is their idea of rest, which isn't really for me, while for others, going for a 10-mile hike is what will help them feel rested. And though the terms sleep and rest can sometimes be used interchangeably, for this video, let's think about restful activities as things you do whilst you're awake, not while you're sleeping. So the first strategy for guilt-free resting is to make it clear in your mind that inactivity isn't being lazy. You need to challenge what rest means to you and ask if your current perspective on rest is going to encourage or discourage a restful lifestyle. For example, if you believe that rest is passive or that you've somehow succumbed to the idea that restfulness means you're lazy, you're going to really struggle to see its value and start to incorporate it into your life. Intentional rest isn't the same as being idle, lazy, wasting time, or selfish. Intentional rest is actually a strategic way to manage and preserve your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual energy. If you're someone who thinks of inactivity and rest as being idle or lazy, then you're going to be riddled with guilt the moment you stop being active. And this is a problem because it will add to your stress and eventually lead to burnout. So when thinking about rest, it's important to consider the relationship between time and energy. So many people focus their attention on time, but fail to consider the significance of energy. But what they don't realize is that even with more time, they wouldn't be able to do all the things that they want to do. And this is because it isn't more time that they need, but more energy. Now, I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't consider how you manage your time. In fact, I've recorded another video where I speak about the importance of managing time and priorities, which I'll put a link to in the description. But what I am saying is that there is more to the equation because time isn't the only resource that you need to be managing. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been working towards completing a task and out of a desire to get it done before a set time, you've pressed on, carried on doing it despite being tired? Now, I've experienced days when I've had a full day available to me to get things done, but reached the end of the day without having accomplished anything meaningful. And the reason for this is because I was tired and lacked energy to focus. And on those occasions when I've tried to press on despite being tired, actually I've just made a mess of the work that I was trying to do, and I've either needed to fix it, get someone else to fix it, or start again, which leads us into the next strategy. So the second strategy for guilt-free resting is to schedule restful activities that will help restore your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual energy. I'd suggest starting by making a list of activities that can be scheduled. For physical rest, you might want to consider scheduling in time for things like deep breathing, stretching, or light to moderate exercise like walking, hiking, or running. For mental rest, you could think about things like writing a journal, completing a crossword or word search, which are some of my favorites, writing some poetry, or even reading a book. For emotional rest, try writing a list of activities that bring you joy, putting them in your diary and doing that for the next few months or so. Things like going to the cinema or meeting with a friend for some meaningful conversation and some laughter. And for spiritual rest, you could consider something like a retreat or setting aside time to meditate, to pray, or connect with creation so that you can experience awe and wonder. Rest is key to maintaining your well-being and managing stress. So it helps to remember that scheduling breaks isn't counterproductive, because just like with an athlete, active rest is key to your recovery. Right, before we move on to the next strategy for guilt-free resting, here's a quick question for you. How well do you manage your stress? I ask this because if you're not managing your stress well, it will affect your thoughts and actions, and in worst case scenarios, it will be damaging your relationships. So if you're serious about managing stress better, I'd invite you to get access to a free lesson from my Stress to Success course. It's a 6-session course designed to help people like you achieve more with less stress. I'll put a link to it in the description. Okay, back to the video. Did you know that the most productive people in the world do not use to-do list? Well, not like most of us do anyway. Now, this might sound crazy, but it's true. To-do lists are good at helping us list what needs to be done, but unlike other approaches, they're crap, absolute crap at helping us determine how to allocate our energy and time to things that matter. Also, because to-do lists are so easy to create and don't require that we actually think carefully about what we add to them, they tend to just increase in length. They grow to stupid lengths, and in some cases can pop up in all sorts of places. For example, you might find them in your notebook, or 3 notebooks, or 5 notebooks. You might find them on post-it notes that you've just written, or even on scrap bits of paper that you've left in your pocket or in your bag. For me, I've had a love-hate relationship with to-do lists. I've loved the idea that they might be helpful, and I've hated the realization that they don't work for me and just seem to add more stress to my life. And it's no surprise that to-do lists can make us feel more stressed, anxious, and overwhelmed, because the longer our lists get, the more our subconscious is overloaded. But all that to say, there is one type of list that can actually be really helpful when it comes to getting more comfortable with resting without feeling an ounce of guilt, and it's a not to-do list. So the third strategy for guilt-free resting is to identify a list of stressful habits and activities that you can commit to avoiding. Yes, avoiding. These are the types of habits and activities that tend to drain your energy and drain your time and probably stop you from being productive. They're the kind of habits and activities that keep you from doing high-value work, or that stop you from moving in the direction of achieving your personal or professional goals. Some of the things you might add to your list might include things like not checking work-related email during personal time, or not looking at social media between, set times in the evening or in the day, or for blocks of period across a week, not answering calls from unknown numbers. That can be very annoying. Not agreeing to meetings without clear agendas and start and end times, not saying yes to every request that comes your way, not watching television past a set time, and not checking email outside of scheduled times. By writing out and committing to a not to-do list, you'll not only give yourself guilt-free resting time, but you'll also create more space, time, and energy to focus on the things that matter most, which will inevitably lead to you feeling less stressed and being more productive. So please, you need to stop feeling guilty about rest, because it's essential for upgrading your health, your performance, your productivity, and your relationships. There's so much more I could say on this, but for now, I want to invite you to get started with these 3 things. 1, see rest as an active, not a passive practice. 2, get clear on where managing energy is just as important as managing time. And 3, give yourself permission to start avoiding activities that will strip you of time and energy and limit your overall productivity. But above all, I want to encourage you to start enjoying your rest without feeling guilty, because the truth is, you can't succeed if you're not fully charged and firing on all cylinders. Please let me know in the comments which steps you think you can get started with straight away, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Once again, thanks for watching. See you in the next one, and as always, rooting for you. Be well. So if you're ready to give more thought to how you're using your time and energy, watch this video where I share 5 simple steps to being more productive. I'm about to get some guilt-free rest.